No, it's
Right now,
because
we're
it
trying
was
to
not
make
training. We just stopped working.
What?
Because
Take a break. Please stop. Write down whatever you were about to say and take a break.
Right now, Jeremy, we are
Mhm.
trained by Jay on a club about this proposal and how we're going to do the work based on jurisdiction 25%. He's training us. We are not doing anything. He's training us.
so training comes in when the other worker is not doing anything.
No, it's like we're always learning, we're always growing, we're trying to improve. Right now, not only are we doing training for ourselves, we're training the organization. We're building a policy. A policy is like a training for the organization itself, right? When we have a policy, it means the organization itself is evolving and growing and learning, right? We have mistakes and problems that we're trying to solve. So right now I'm trying to train you on what the mistakes, the problems, and then different options for how we can solve that. And there's a slew of policies that we currently have that are applicable to this, including our jurisdictional policies. But we're trying to make sure that you understand the policy, right?
Okay.
But if I spend 100 hours, let's say working with Cosmos or in Kaiser and getting them to do work, and then in the end they just quit and they don't do anything, it's just 100 hours wasted. You see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, sure.
So we're constantly doing training all the time, whether it's policy training or work training, it's or how to do a real-time policies, how to run a session, having to every single time I remind you that you forgot to do the rhythm, or you forgot to take notes, or you forgot to, do the recording, or you forgot to do anything, like that's all training. That's me wasting my time, reminding you for the literally 50th time to do something because you just refuse to do it. That's training. Otherwise, you're just disrespecting and treating me like garbage. Right? If basically my time is so unvaluable that you don't even acknowledge it as actual me trying to help you, then it's like I'm the one who should be leaving because you're treating me like garbage. So you telling me like, oh, we don't ever do any training. It's like, what are you talking about? We are training you all the time. Every time you refuse to follow policy and we have to remind you for the 15th time to do it, that's called training. That's policy training.
I get it.
You understand?
Yeah.
Yes, and if people are ignoring you when you're trying to train them, you should be outraged as well. And that's why this policy is being created, is because it's just not okay for people to constantly waste executive and leadership time and just not give a crap about the organization and not actually try and then just quit. It just makes no sense for the organization. It makes no sense for us. It makes no sense for us. I mean, I can't pay my bills. I can't pay my bills. I can't do anything, right? And the idea that we're required to do training for people who are probably just going to quit is just ridiculous. Yeah. It doesn't make sense, it's great in theory. I mean, we've been doing this for 5-7 years, where we treat everybody equally and everyone has equal rights to training, everyone has equal rights to voting, everyone has equal rights to whatever, to make their money and everything. But basically we're getting to the point where it's not working and we're all just getting screwed. So the goal right now is actually creating a proposal, right? So we're trying to create a proposal and a policy that we can actually learn in the organization and actually change how the organization functions and see if that can help us be successful. So I wanted to add this other example here. So the example was that Jeremy doesn't have to do any training and instead can focus on making money for his own family and getting his own training. But this is a pretty complicated policy. I mean, maybe we should try to break it up into separate policies and proposals. But I'm not sure exactly how to do that. We can make it like an umbrella policy or something.
You forget to take the break. We have 1 minute break.
Okay, let's go for break.
End of break. Time to start. Please get focused on the session.
I'm back.
We didn't take much of a break though. Let's do another 3 minutes or so.
Okay.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
I'm back.
I'm back as well.
Okay, let me get my charger. I want to charge my machine. 1 minute.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay. I was getting my charger. My machine running out of power. Can continue.
All right.
You were saying something before break on proposal. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think we should move on, but I thought of one other important component, which is more protections for the workers required to wait. I think that they should know their rights. So, for example, if we're telling Jeremy that he can't work, I mean, he can't get training, the question is how much training can he get? And according to this, Lucy's required to do one session per week with Jeremy. So this would be like a buddy team, and then also there would be a main session that Jeremy could go to. So for a buddy team, you would have up
Time for breath.
to
Please
two
stop and get ready.
people.
Now inhale.
Lucy
1,
could train.
2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
So I would say, like, during a buddy team, the maximum is 2 other people with Lucy, right? So if Lucy's required to do 1 buddy team training per week, then that's up to 2 other people. So only 1 other person than Jeremy. So if there's 5 people, only the top 2 would have that particular priority. For main sessions, we can probably do 3 to 5 people training per week for main sessions. So under these policies, Jeremy is guaranteed training during main session and with Lucy once per week. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So the protections is that we couldn't just tell Jeremy, you have to leave, you're not included, right? If we just told Jeremy to leave, that would be against policy. So if we're telling Jeremy to leave, we have to make it clear when he would be able to come back and get his training and why. So he would know, okay, Lucy's required to do 1 week with Jeremy, 1 session per week. And this should all happen in advance. So Lucy, you would be required to coordinate today's session with me, and you would need to tell Jeremy in advance that he needs to find someone else to work with if he's going to come to the session. Because if you're doing a VA session with me and Jeremy's not prepared for the VA session, then it's your responsibility to tell Jeremy in advance that if he shows up to the session without someone else, and then you're doing the session with me, that he can't participate unless he has self-driven responsibility. So that's your responsibility, Lucy, to make sure that Jeremy understands that in advance.
Okay, it's clear. Yeah.
And then if we don't do it in advance, then we'd be required to schedule with Jeremy within 2 or 3 days. Right? And be like, hey, Jeremy, like we can't do the session with you now, but we can schedule for tomorrow, Andromeda hour 1, and we will prioritize whatever priority we want to do with Jeremy at that time for training or whatever. Like Jeremy wanted to do work on the bills. Okay.
Okay.
So I think that would help in making sure that there are checks and balances to this policy. Also, I think that they need to know their status as a worker, you know, so if they recruit, new hire.
Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
Are they a recruit? Are they a new hire? are they able to are they a substitute? Are they a substitute? Is it 24 hours per day? Is it 1.5 hours per day? 1 day per week. What exactly what is their status as a worker? I think everyone should know their status.
Yes.
So that it's clear what their role is in the organization. And until when, right? And when is this going to be revisited? When will it be reviewed and changed? Cool. Anyway, so there's a lot more that can go into this for sure, but I feel like this is a pretty good start and will help build consensus around this policy. I think before it was very, very vague, but it still needs to be organized, and we still need to put this all together into a clear proposal and a policy, and it needs to eventually go on our website and everything.
Yeah. You have a good
So are we ready to
discussion.
go to the next one? I know we don't track time or do our policies, but should we go on to the next one? Or
Yes. Maybe unless if Jeremy still have
the
a
next one
question.
is the upfront pay break and taking month on, month off. What about
Jeremy, do
Jeremy?
you have a question?
No.
I'm asking maybe if Jeremy have a question or we move to the next topic.
Yeah, move to the next.
Are we going on to the next policy, or you guys want to stop? We we're.
Oh no, we are. Oh, sorry. We are moving to upfront pay break.
All right.
Man on and man off.
All right. Let's go.
Okay, so this one, I think that the evolved version with this would be something like the proposal would be that we will take off a minimum of 1 month budget and only get bonus rewards for completing work. And the upfront base budget will start
Time
when
to
we
stretch.
complete
Please
a
stop. Stand up and
recruitment
stretch
round.
and move around for 30 seconds.
All right, we're stretching. So basically, right here, let's just stretch. So basically, the idea here would be, and then and amount of time we take off will be amount of months we can stay in the budget. So if it takes us 1 month to do the budget, we would do the budget for 1 month, and then we would be off for a month, and then we would be on for a month. So it would just go back and forth. And of course, there's so this would create 3 budgets. There would be the on budget, the off budget, and the permanent budget, right?
Yeah.
So every month you would either be on the on budget, the off budget, or the permanent budget. So there could be a group of people who would work every month.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'd have some people who would work 1 month on, 1 month off, etc., etc. So, but there would be 3 separate types of budgeting that would happen. You could also call it like the base budget, and then you would have the bonus budget and the permanent budget. So base budget means you get a base pay.
Yeah.
As well as the bonus pay. So what do you guys think of this particular policy? It obviously wasn't very popular. It only got about 6.3. So we could barely pass this, but I feel like it needed a little bit more information. Let's also get the previous proposal as well. So
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
So I put the previous proposal here. So the previous proposal is kind of this in general, but if we think about it for this particular situation, the idea would be, okay, we know we're pretty much not going to be passing a budget at this time because we're just not anywhere close to doing the work. So the idea, okay, what would be the criteria for passing the budget? And the idea would be to do the recruitment, right? So the recruitment would be the criteria for the new budget.
Mhm.
And so we could easily do that in a month and say, okay, between now and the next new moon, we do the recruitment round or the mini recruitment round, and then we have our new budget. And if it takes us 2 months to do the recruitment, then we do the recruitment in 2 months, and then we have our budget.
So that means the budget will be there when the new recruits, we recruit the new recruits.
Well, that would be the deadline, right? So the budget would start when we finish the recruitment round.
Okay.
Does that make sense as far as like the deadline?
Yeah.
Seems
It doesn't sound like it makes sense. Do you want me to read the proposal again?
I mean, yeah, I get it.
You can read again the proposal.
Okay, so we would take a month off from the base budget, and then that would only be the bonus rewards, right? So the upfront base budget would start when we complete the recruitment, and the amount of time that it takes us to do that would be the amount of time that we can continue the budget afterwards. So if it takes us 1 month to complete the recruitment round, then we would have 1 month of work, of base paid work. And if it takes us 2 months, we would get 2 months of base pay work.
So that until the recruitment is done, right?
Well, that's the proposal, right? So maybe we could break it up into a couple different proposals. Like, let's just look at options, right? So options would be
Time for breath. Please stop and get ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
So one option would be just the 1 month on, 1 month off. Option 2 would be to start the base budget when we finish the recruitment round. And then I guess we could do all 3 options because there could be 2 months on, 2 months off, and then you could have 3 months on, 3 months off, right? And then you can start the base budget when we finish the recruitment round. And then all of these would automatically include they would automatically include the bonuses, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we can put that here. So automatically includes bonuses, upfront bonuses, even if there is no budget. So everyone can make money already right now by completing work and getting the upfront bonuses, right? But then we would have the idea of no months off immediately get agreement on a budget. So, I mean, I'm not against getting agreement on the budget. The problem is that we're just not doing the work. But we're making some progress today by trying to get our policies all organized and set up for Co-op 2.0. So if we can get everything all organized and set up, then we could get the budget, but we're just so far behind on all of that. There's like, I mean, basically all last week, all last week has just been spent dealing with the Spanish team, and it just ended in complete disaster. And so not only did we just give ourselves tons of extra work, we lost all the Spanish team who's going to be helping us. So we're like 10 times worse this week than we were even a week ago, as far as our situation. So we're really, really bad shape. I'm not sure why we weren't able to get any sort of compromise with the Spanish team, but for me, it's like we should have just compromised. They were willing to do $300. I thought it was fine, but we didn't compromise, and they all quit. So we're in a very bad situation where it just gives ourselves tons of extra work, and we don't have, more than half of our workforce is gone. So I'm not sure how to recover from that or how long it would take. So anyways, overall, our plan for
time to pause.
Moving
Please
forward
stop.
is going
Close
backwards.
your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
But the thing is, if they were willing to continue, they can, they don't want to continue. So for me, I don't regret, because I thought they should be there to agree. We can have disagree, and we agree on what they can have. It's not that they want to be like clear everything. If not, so we are quitting. So that means all of them that they say, if everybody quit, I will not quit because someone quit. I will quit on my own.
Well, yeah, it was all very, very strange. There's a lot of really weird things about the whole Spanish team situation. But anyways, it doesn't change the fact that we are affected by it, and it's really bad. So anyways, option number 1, I think, is very, very low probability. Option 0, obviously, is basically automatic. We can still all be making money, and we do need to prioritize going through all of our budgets and income potential. So, I mean, I would love to get our budget all updated and agreed upon. We have 2 days until the new moon, exactly 2 days and 3 hours. So that is 51 hours. You have exactly 51 hours to get the budget all updated and completed. The probability of that happening is basically like 0%, because no one's doing anything for the budget and getting it all organized and set up.
Sure, a lot has been happening.
So I think we're more going towards option 2 or even other options. But I think starting the base budget when we finish the recruitment is a really good idea. Because I think we really do need some more people,
How are we going to train them with our policies, dear? How are we going to train the new recruit with our policies?
What policy are you talking about?
Whereby we only train people. There is no training.
I don't know what you're talking about. There's no policy that says there's no training. What does that mean? Jeremy, do you understand?
We only pick a few people, like you said, according to the ranking, all this. And right now we are in a crisis. We still need to add another crisis on top of another crisis.
What is the other crisis?
Time to take a break. Please stop, write down whatever you were about to say, and take a break for 6 minutes.
What is the crisis that we're adding on top of the other crisis? What is it?
Already right now we have no money. So if we recruit these people, of course they always expect the money, unless we just say volunteering. Just say unless we have to agree on
volunteers. That's fine, whether it's volunteers or workers or whatever. The point is that
we cannot say workers. When we say Workers' Day, it's going to give us a lot of headache. Let's just say volunteering. If somebody is volunteer, on the process of doing volunteering, if they can get something penny on their work to appreciate, that is fine. Instead of telling them, yeah, we are recruiting for the job. According
So,
to
I mean,
them, they think.
we should just follow our policies, but the bottom line is that each individual gets to decide their relationship to the organization. So, in the context of our model, we could do equity only. If they want to volunteer, they can, but then they would have to give their value over to some other group organization and donate it. But in the context of just like actually, moving forward, we know there's more work than we can do. And if we want to be successful, we need to hire people who can actually do the work and have them be workers, right? So whether you're a volunteer or equity only or upfront pay, you're still a worker, right? So worker is the correct term. And, everyone deserves the ability to get bonuses or whatever, even if we don't have a budget. But the point is that we're not doing the work. So if we're going to be sitting around here and arguing about how that's acceptable and that we should continue with the same people not doing all the work, then that is a problem.
I'm not saying we should continue. Actually, I did not saying that, please. Just my view. I don't have any problem. Just viewing what is going on and how things are going to be.
Yes, okay, that's fine. But the point is that we have a requirement to do recruitment. We are publicly accountable. We are required to do recruitment and outreach, and we don't do it, and that's a huge problem. So one model for our time off from the budget would be they're required to do the recruitment. If we don't do the recruitment, we don't get a budget. So that's one option. We don't have agreement on that, but it's just an option. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Does that make sense, Jeremy?
Yeah.
Okay. So anyways, I know we're not following policies and, certainly problem here, but do we go to the gamification model or do you want to go to a different topic? Or I don't know. We're not making a lot of progress on any of these, but
Let's go to
it's
the
not
next
super
topic.
surprising since these are pretty controversial proposals.
Can we go to the next topic?
Okay.
The next topic is, let's see. Or Jeremy, would you like to understand about gamification? Or we can move forward.
Gamification.
Do you want to understand about gamification?
Yeah.
So you want us to continue?
Yeah.
Let's do the review then. We are bad at reviewing our topic. Yeah, you can just take it through because I'm very sure Jeremy does not even understand about gamification. Can go, let's say, continue.
I thought we were doing a view up.
Yes, I'm doing view up.
Okay.
So I did the view up. Review and the gamification. Are we all into agreement for 1.5?
Yep.
Okay. I just put rename the topic 1.5. We can continue on one tab.
All right, let's click on the desired outcome.
Desired outcome is
I mean, I don't think we need to do a full another 12 to 24 minutes. Like, we really need to.
And the break. Time to start.
Okay.
Please get focused
We
on the
can
session.
say 6 to 12 minutes. 6, 12 minutes. I think that's fine.
Okay. So let's grab the gamification proposal here. So I think for the gamification proposal, this is very, very preliminary and was actually a while ago when we didn't have much ideas about it, and now we just have so much more to include. So I think the most important thing is understanding the Co-op 2.0 website. The Co-op 2.0 website is going to list all roles, and then all roles, and then basically you're going to be able to see all deadlines, right? Every deadline will have training on the website, eventually. And then every deadline has a basically, a goal and a value. So the value is sort of, for me, like, so basically you're going to have a deliverable. When I say goal, I mean a deliverable and a value, right? So every deliverable will have a deadline and will have a value. So for the value of every deliverable and deadline is sort of like the score, right? So basically you have a deliverable, a deadline, and a value, and then you're going to have training and information about everything all in real time on the website. Like, that's the goal. So everything will be in one place. You just have everything ready to go. There's going to be a manual component to this, especially with the value. So when you're looking at the value, every single deliverable that's completed has a base pay for the team. And then this is shared with the team, and everyone gets a bit and your value for the organization and the network and the vortex and the benefits, right? So the value for the team is very, very important. Then you have your bonus pay, and the bonus pay is only for the individual. So all the bonus goes to the individual. Okay?
Yes.
So we could do an example.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
So we have the Co-op 2.0 policies, then we have the Co-op 2.0 website. So we could have deliverables for both of these deliverables. So each deliverable would need to be organized and understood, and we can look and see what we have so far. But then once you have the deliverable, from there you would have the base pay, the bonus pay. You could have token bonuses as well, which can be given, and all of these bonuses and value would then go along with the deliverable and the deadline. So you could have the bonus before deadline, and you can also have bonus after deadline. I think
so
the base pay.
Yep. So now, is this what about paying loan? All these things are going to be the same. For example,
our loans, all of our loans and all of that is currently paid from our base pay. Our bonus pay goes directly to the individual, as far as I know. So basically, although I do have a proposal that bonus pay could be affected by, well, no, it's not really a proposal, but bonus pay does not has, how do you say that? The bonus pay is not affected by base pay calculation, right? For escrow, etc., or paying back loan, right?
Yeah.
But bonus pay can be affected by not following policies and not meeting deadlines, right? Like we said, and not doing the publicly searchable communications, right? So your bonus pay can definitely be affected by policy training, by breaking policy. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right. So the question, how much is your bonus pay affected by that? So one other proposal here that I just made is you go to proposals. That your weekly pay is tied to the percentage of function.
Please stop and get ready. Now inhale, 1, 2, 3, exhale, 1, 2, 3, pause. Inhale together, 1, 2, 3, exhale, relax.
So if we do an example here, so currently we have 7 days per week for Phoenix and 7 days per week for Andromeda. So let's say we do, that's 14 days total, or 14 sessions total per week. That we're currently scheduled for as a team that we're required to do. So that means that if we do, let's say we do 5 sessions in a week, and let's say we made $50 of bonuses for that week, and we only achieved 5 of the 14 sessions, the value would be equal to 35%. So instead of getting a $50 bonus, you would only get a $18 bonus. And then the way that you fix this is you just update the schedule. So if we were scheduled for 5 sessions a week, we would get $50. But because we're scheduled for 14 sessions a week and we only did 5, we only get $18. So the way that you meet this policy is just simply scheduling and attending the sessions that we all agreed to do.
So is that like, yeah, it makes sense though. Is that like, let's say $18? Let's say if we are 3 of us, how is that $18 going to look like? Is it divided by
Well,
this?
this would be an individual bonus, right? So if you had $50 individual bonus, you would just get $18 as an individual.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
But anyway, so this is still a proposal, but the idea is that it's outrageous that we don't follow the policies and no one cares about the schedule, right? So if we don't care about the schedule, then we don't deserve to get paid. We should have a professional schedule where people are showing up to the session every day. Also, you could even argue that if we're going to have an executive session, that the executive session does not count against the 7 sessions per day, per week, but I don't know. I think maybe it should. So anyways, the point here is that the whole idea of the website and the gamification is that as a team, as a new recruit, a new person, here's the deliverable, here's the deadline, this is the training, this is the information to get the work done, this is how long it's going to take, this is the scheduling, and then this is the value. And this would all be on the website, tied with every deliverable, every single deadline would
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
Would also have a value that you're working towards. So if you meet the value by the deadline, then you get this value. If you don't meet it by the deadline, then you get a separate value, right? If you have your base pay, you're going to get additional value, and if you don't, you're only getting the bonus value, right? Yeah. So all of this would go into the gamification, and it would all be live on the website, and it would be continuous, right? So some of the things that are missing with the gamification still are just the sort of the details. For example, tracking and verification of meeting goals and deadlines and work expectations. So this part is still going to be more or less manual. So the actual money itself is all going to be tracked manually because it's just not necessarily possible to do it automatically at this time. But eventually it could all be done automatically, including even the payroll could be automated. So, but for now, we're going to just stick with the manual for all the value and the tracking and the verification. Okay.
Yeah.
But everything else can be automated as far as like all the deadlines, all the roles, making sure all the training is available and the video trainings and all the information, the indexing, right? We just need to follow the policies. So if we follow the policies and we do the indexing properly and we track all the information so that it's available on the website, then it should work.
I think for now our website not yet done, right?
We haven't even started. Right, so we could have, so if we think about the deliverables for the policies in the website, so we could say the co-op 2.0 policies would be completed and on a website. It could be on the decisions website and policies website. So that could be for just all the co-op 2.0 policies could just be organized and done. And then, we have to just think of how much time this would take. So let's say it takes 25 hours, then that would calculate the total value for that time. So then the co-op 2.0 website, the total max value.
Time to stretch. Please stop, stand up, and stretch and move around for 30 seconds.
All right, let's get a stretch.
Yeah.
So one problem that I always have with the time is that I always think about time in terms of an individual, but when we're tracking time for value, we need to be thinking about all the time we're doing. So for example, if the three of us spend an hour and a half, I'm thinking, okay, we just did an hour and a half of work, right? But there's three of us, so we actually did 4.5 hours of work, basically 5 hours. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if we're thinking about 25 hours of work, it's probably going to be more like 30 or 40 hours of work, because I'm thinking about just like one or two people where really there's always more people involved. So we need to be thinking about the total amount of time that it takes to do the work between the whole team, not just the individual. So in this case, maybe it's like 10 hours of executive work plus more hours of other workers helping out and maybe some training, other things, right? So that would be a completed decisions and policies website with all of our co-op 2.0 policies completed. Right, so then the co-op 2.0 website itself, I would say this would be like a draft, right? So have functional deadlines, automated functional automated deadlines. Maybe we do weekly updates, and I don't know, maybe it's more like daily updates. And I don't know what else we want to do for the website to make it. I mean, I don't think we need to finish the website to get the first deliverable done. So the idea would be more like, okay, we want the deliverable to be, the first draft of the website. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And this could also take a lot of time to build that website too. So we can review our deadlines on this if we want to get the spreadsheet, and then we could calculate the value that we currently have. Both of these are going to be, I think both of these are under our multimedia, right?
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
So do we want to look this up real quick and see what the value would be, or
Yeah.
I guess that's sort of a separate topic. So as far as this proposal goes, I think that the gamification model is very clear how it's going to work and what's going to be happening. We just need to write it up in a much better way, because before we said that we knew it was 100% possible, but we don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
So now we do know how to do it. We know how to set up a manual model. It'll be fully functional. Actually, everything's going to be automated except for the actual tracking and verification of the value. Okay.
Yes.
So then the last part of this is the documentations of the training, the responsibility training. So every responsibility training and documenting the training and the training organizing and all that is going to be a deliverable. So every time you have a work assignment, you have the work assignment for the work itself, plus you have the deliverable assignment for the responsibility training if it's a repeated responsibility. So if we complete the responsibility training, you get a bonus, an additional pay. Does that make sense? On top of the actual normal work.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. So do we want to stop here, or do we want to try to rewrite the proposal, or do we want to calculate the value of this as like an example so we know what the value
Can you
is?
calculate the value as an example?
Okay, so if we're going to calculate the value, we need to get the spreadsheet.
Okay.
So we're looking for the value spreadsheet. So this is the client priority assignment calculation spreadsheet. It's on line 208.
Yep.
We're going to look up Co-op 2.0. So you have Co-op 2.0 website. So we already have this here. We estimated that it would take...
Please stop and get ready. Now inhale, 1, 2, 3, exhale, 1, 2, 3, pause. Inhale together, 1, 2, 3, exhale, relax.
So we estimated that the Co-op 2.0 website would cost, would take 13 hours. So I think that what we're talking about is different. So we're saying, okay, we have the setup of the website, but then we also have the actual first draft. So the first draft of the website is going to be a lot more work than just the setup. So we're going to put in here Co-op 2.0 website first draft. Co-op 2.0 website first draft. So this also is like a one-time goal. And then we also have Co-op 2.0 policies and decisions draft, or decisions site. So this would be one time as well. So this is all normal administrative work. We need to get that updated model. So we said these other ones are going to be 35 hours of work. Maybe this might be a little bit less. because we're doing the setup. And then it's one time. So the amount of money is going to change. As soon as we get the umbrella website updated, we're going to have all that additional money. So this comes out to see here. Oops. All right, so the normal oversight value work is going to be a total of, it's like $10, which would leave $5 would be the actual worker payroll. So let's say the bonus would be, let's say the bonus is 33% of that, you're going to be looking at only $2 of bonus. So let's say the three of us worked on it together. I would get $1. Lucy would get $1.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
I would get $1. Lucy would get $1, and then Jeremy would get $1, right?
Yeah.
So the biggest problem with this particular assignment is that it is part of the new contract, right? So the new client contract is going to increase the amount of value into this type of work by almost $25,000. So the main areas of money is going to go towards the token profiles in websites, and then we're going to be doing multimedia. So multimedia includes all websites, social media, communications, et cetera, outreach. Right. So overall, our new client contract is going to be making this much more valuable. So let's say we brought in even another $5,000 to this. We would add that money into column N. Right. So column N, this is where the new money would come in. So let's say we brought in another 5,000 or so, let's say $6,000. So we have $12,000 instead of $4,000. The amount of money would go way up, and the amount of money available for this would go up. So that would change it from only $10 to, let's see, let's put down here. So now it would be a value of $29, like $30. So it would triple the amount of value that we would have for this particular assignment, because we could make $30 instead of only $10. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that is.
And that's still assuming we have all the hours correct and we have all the amounts correct. Like one of the biggest problems with our current calculations is the total amount of hours. It's all estimated. So, right now we're estimating about 3,000 hours for all the Activity Unity work. But this amount will change based on getting the new client and understanding how much work and time it's going to be to get all of our tokens set up, all of our multimedia and everything set up. So the actual amount of time will actually change potentially. So that is a very important calculation that we need to estimate. But anyway, so
Time to take a break. Please stop. Write down whatever you were about to say and take a break for 6 minutes.
So that's basically the idea of the gamification. So the key thing of the gamification is that it goes on the website in real time with real updated information of all of our deadlines and all the links and information regarding our training. So all the training, all the goals, all the details, all the work, everything is all linked into the deadlines with the deliverables and it's just all in one place for all of the workers so that they can get everything that they need. right?
Yes.
Okay.
So for example, for the website itself, we would